Hi. So I was just looking at the comments and one sentence grabbed my attention. I'm like, that sounds like a thing we could talk about. So this person is looking for any advice that would help him to get rid of entities and clean his house in that way. And so if you have been dealing with entities, what kind of things did you do to clean them out of your space and out of your house? Now, personally, for me, I don't do it every day. That's not me. It's not like I'm every day gonna be wonderfully like spreading my energy all over the house and imagining little flowers and bunnies and everything else. Like that's not me. But once in a while, like I work on myself. I start with, okay, well, I am the one that's bringing in this stuff here. So I'm gonna focus on myself. And I start with looking at the emotions and things I feel that are not serving me or getting in the way one way or the other. And that would be like, for example, frustration, the possible, I don't know, like concerns, worries, things that cause the anxiety or just like, I don't feel too good. Like whatever grabs my attention and makes me stop my day or focus on something that's like useless. Like, yeah, like just because you think about it, it's not going to help. Just because you focus on that issue and complain, it's not going to help. But I look at those emotions and, like where's frustration and stuff. Like recently, I'm studying and the person that's teaching stuff, it's just really bad. Like, I know I'm no perfect at teaching, but I've seen some people that do it amazingly. And I'm not expecting everyone to be like that, but if you have a person that teaches good or okay, well, that's really, really bad. Like, really, like, damn, like it's worse than my math teacher, and that was bad enough. So that being said, like, like I have my frustrations about the person that even when you ask for their help, like, like, hey, well, I don't understand this. Could you explain this, define it? And the person's like, like they're not even willing to go there. It's like, why do you even call yourself a teacher and stuff? Like, so like various things that grab my attention, the frustration, the like this feeling, like I wouldn't call it rage, but frustration is probably the best thing I can have to name it. So once I identify the emotion I have, I would look at what are some of the things I say or think and feel about it. And I would just look at what's getting me pissed off or aggravated, the little things that irritate me as regards like learning that thing. So just looking at the issue, how I feel about it, and then sort of opening it up. Like, okay, like being frustrated about the teacher, well, what's that all about? And I would just go deeper into asking myself questions to bring out more awareness or to just look at the situation differently, not like to complain, but more like why? Why do I feel this way? And then a lot of those like thoughts that get in like my perspective, I'm like, oh, okay, now I realize it. But at the same time, it is so easy for entities to just get in your space. All I need is have this one trigger. It doesn't matter how big it is, but it's a trigger. And that is enough for beings to jump into your space. You might have seen plenty of movies with time travel, with portals, with teleporting, and stuff like that. Well, it basically works the same way. The moment you shift from feeling neutral, good, or anything above neutral into not the neutral, like kind of like pissed off, more a negative way, well, that's where you get help. That's where beings kind of like notice you and they can get into your space. They can sort of jump to you and cling on that emotion or thing you have, like you're feeling the frustration, the anger, the rage, the tiredness, the exhaustion, like whatever is in your space right now, whatever you're feeling that's not so good, well, that's going to get more attention. And so because of that, entities jump in and they're going to feel like relating to what you feel. So they don't have to bring in more frustration, but they feel like you do. They're frustrated about something similar. You and the entities have something in common. And so like various agreements in between you, like I hate this guy, or like, oh, I can't believe I can't learn, I can't move forward, like various things you can say to yourself that are frustrating you about something, or like maybe you're feeling jealousy, maybe you're tired, maybe you're exhausted, maybe something else is in your space. So all those things, entities come and they sort of amplify whatever you're feeling, but they also bring this like little baggage of thoughts. They're usually thought forms. Like if you have bigger entities than thought forms, well, they're going to be able to mess with you more. But on the level of just thinking and frustrating and like, let's say more thoughts in your space, more of like feeling aggravated, more open up to some of the issues in life, or reacting to it rather than like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna find a way to deal with it. Instead of that, you have more of a like reaction, like little thing that you're stuck with, or it keeps on repeating. So entities get into your space. And so by being able to be aware of them, identify them, notice the thoughts you have, the emotions, how it feels, maybe even use your hand and kind of like have your hand go through your body and feel where's the energy. If I had a cluster of entities that were aggravated, that were tired, that were lazy, that were something else, where are they in my space? And you're sort of like using your hand like a scanner, and you kind of like might feel this warmth. You might feel like, oh, that feels like the place. Like you have this like kind of like lie detector, the truth teller within yourself, and you can feel that in your space, and that is enough. Like a lot of entities are like cockroaches. They don't like you. They don't like being noticed, and they're gonna run away. So your awareness is like light, like flashlight. Oh, I see you there, and they're like, fuck, like, go, 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 go. So they're gonna run away. They're gonna try to hide. But just because you're aware of them, it's like finding out about a person that's stealing money from your company. When you know who it is, they're not gonna come back and work. So a lot of times our awareness is enough. Like, I know you're in my space, and you're like, oh shit, let's go. So that works sometimes. Other times, it's the most simple thing of giving these beings a permission to leave. Because one, your emotion that you have, that's like sort of like, it's like tracking those entities. You're like a magnet. So when they jump to you and you have mutual agreements, now it's kind of like you holding them on a leash because you're kind of hooked on having this feeling. You have something to complain about. You have something to feel and focus on. And like this issue might be brought up again and again and again. And it can disappear, but you're not willing to let go as much. And it's not about let it go. No, but there are entities that will cling to some of your thoughts and emotions. And as long as you have that focus and those thoughts and that feeling state, they're going to cling with you. If you're able to work through it and or give a permission for these guys to leave, it's going to become lesser. Like you're not letting it go, but you're letting them off the hook. You're no longer holding them hostages just so that you could amplify some of the feelings and have more thoughts and emotions about that subject. So, like a simple thing is, okay, well, entities or beings in my space that are feeling frustrated and or entities that are beings in my space that are feeling lazy, that are feeling like you don't want to live anymore, that have no purpose in life, that are feeling stuck, that can't get out of body. You will have various issues in life. And by addressing that, addressing the entities that have the issue just like you do, and you notice the issue you have, and they will have similar stuff. So you name it. And like, hey, like entities that are feeling frustrated about not being able to learn or something, you have my permission to leave. Oh, that's it. That's all you need. You don't need to have this whole text and everything else. Of course, you can have it, but that's all it takes. And other times, a lot of these entities are in our space because they're forced to be here. Not like they want to mess with you. Not like they want to like cause those emotions and feelings and constantly chatter it up, but they have higher ups. They too have a hierarchy, and the way you are a pawn for so many people in the whole system, entities are way lesser than that. And they don't have a call. They don't have a right to speak up or anything. They're going to be slapped and tortured and everything else. So a lot of these like little entities, a lot of big beings are just going to use them and drop them into our space and tell them to do certain things to us, like chatter it up, cause triggers, cause us to react, to get more loose and everything else. Just because it is so easy for them to sort of like give a threat, like, hey, if you don't do that, I'm going to do this. And they have to follow the rules. And so they're messing with you. But you are a bigger guy because in the end, reptilians, they can't fight against consciousness. And if you know your abilities and your true power and what you can do with it, by that I mean your imagination. Visuals is one thing, but imagination, things you can think of and imagine, you can create. It is you creating everything all around you all the time. And you can create a reality for these beings that are messing with you, that are in your space or in other people's space. Like if you are aggravated that someone else in your house has certain emotions, they're not serving them or getting in your space and triggering you, you can get entities out of their space same way. identify those things. And literally you can have a person sitting across the room, they're busy with their own thing on the phone, watching TV, whatever, but you see them and okay, that person was recently like really frustrated about me not getting the trash out. And eventually it's not that I didn't do it. It's the other thing, like whatever might happen in your life. Like, I don't know, like trash is fine here, but like whatever example you can think of. So the person that's not answering, that's ignoring you, that doesn't want to talk, well, there's going to be entities in their space that want to talk. And all you have to do is like, okay, well, entities in her space that don't want to talk, how about I create a place where you can be quiet and enjoy the place? So by creating the place, all you have to do is think of, let's say, if you have a memory in this life where the location you were at was really nice. And every time you think of that place, it's like having a total recall. It's like you're there, it's like you're living it, or just like having a dream. Where would you like to go if you could? And it's not just Earth, any place. Or maybe you have watched some movies or played games and stuff, and you like that place. You like that location, the reality, the world. So once you have an idea of where you would like to send them off, you simply think of, okay, so I just opened the door, there's that location, and any being in his, her space, my space, you have a permission to go. This is your new home, and you let them off. And they're gonna leave. Because eventually it's like you are giving a sock to the house of Dobby, and oh my God, they haven't seen such thing. Their master was constantly torturing them, threatening them, and you're like, no, you're free. Go on, do whatever you like. They're gonna take that chance, especially if you create a place that will not be found by any bad guys. Maybe away from duality, maybe it's a home, maybe it's gonna have their family or something. You can just think of it. But that permission and creating a realm for beings, they're gonna take their chances. So these are just things I do for myself, like focusing on identifying some of the emotions and thoughts I might have in my space when I'm triggered that are not serving me. And then, talking to those beings, have a chat, try to understand what's going on, or simply create a space, let them off the hook, let them get out, give them permission to leave, like various things. But there are so many more methods, thousands, and I don't know, I would say millions. I don't know that many. But maybe you do. So if you try something like that, please share in the comments. Share how you are getting rid of entities, because there's tons. Like I just oh, well, this is what I do most often. There's probably way more things I do, but I'm like, oh, just whatever, do more than that. So anyway, hopefully this is somewhat helpful, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.